There's a battle right now for your attention from all the cycling brands. So, how is Specialized, one of the biggest of them all, losing that battle on YouTube despite winning the Giro, the Vuelta, the World Championships on the road? How are they so far behind some of their nearest rivals? Welcome. It might be a public holiday where you are. So, I'd like to introduce you back to work mode. Here's a PowerPoint presentation, something a little bit different to start the new year off. Instagram, not my forte, but YouTube, that is my domain.
This is his territory. This is his terrain.
33 million views or something like that in 2022, thanks to you. And disclaimer up front, I've never received $1 from any of these brands. But here's the scoreboard on YouTube between Specialized and, say, three of its main competitors, particularly in the US market. Now, Cannondale, let's just draw a line through that. The views don't seem to be organic views to me based on how many likes and comments there are relative to the views. So let's just compare Spesh to Trek and Canyon. And you can see Canyon's just killing them on YouTube over the last year. Specialized has the incumbent advantage of a sort of a legacy YouTube channel, all those Sagan views, which they used to rely on back in the day. You throw up Peter Sagan, 500k views, no problem, doing a wheelie, whatever, and launching new bikes when he was world champion. Those days are gone, although he still is a Specialized. They sponsor Total Energy, so they got the more subscribers. But look at the gain difference between them and Canyon. Look at the views the last 30 days between them and Canyon. And Canyon ones look all pretty much organic to me. The Trek ones I'm not 100% confident in. And like Specialized, and all these bike brands sponsor a lot of teams. Trek got Trek Segafredo men and women. Specialized got Bora, Total Quickstep. That's 3 in the men's peloton plus SD Works. Canyon got Movistar, Alpecin, Movistar women's team, Canyon SRAM as well. Might have missed a couple. And these brands make almost zero content about their road teams. They are putting in inventory, which during the pandemic was in short supply. Hundreds, thousands of bikes, components, etc. Actually, I don't know who supplies components, but the bikes, helmets, shoes, and then the money on top. And let's run through it. Trek won multiple monuments last couple of years. I've seen zero specific road related piece on the YouTube channel in the last year. Canyon won Flanders with MVP, Grand Tour triple with Van Vleuten, one piece on Annemiek van Vleuten, which actually did quite well, over 70,000 views, quite a nice piece. Specialized won the Giro this year, Vuelta and World Champs, and then like countless races with SD Works, and they produced one piece of Giro content on their channel. You might be thinking, well, road's not everything, right? If you look at the YouTube channels, you can see there's a heavy gravel, mountain bike focus. That's fine. I get that. And listen, I'm not a brand marketing specialist, but when they have made road-related content, it seems to have been successful. The last piece of road-related content that Canyon made, men's road-related, they've done stuff on Nivea Doma and Van Vleuten, as I said, it was over a year ago, but it's one of their top 8 videos ever. Just like a random build video, Mathieu van der Poel getting his new bike. It seems odd to put all that money into road and then not leverage those teams, their successes, when they are successful. I'm not saying you need to do huge productions. This is the trap. This is one of the biggest traps these brands seem to get into, and I think Specialized as well. Not everything needs to be indie documentary quality. iPhone, where's the Remco World Champs bike build video? It's just take the easy wins like that. Bike reveals or content that's contemporaneous with those big successes from the superstars. They're going to do better than average content, even if they don't have the highest production value. And when they do leverage those superstars or do the sort of regular content people want to see, those videos do better than average. Like, look at the Sagan video. It's done better than average. But here's the biggest problem, I think, for Specialized, which is they're producing probably quite good content and high production value and probably quite costly as well for the views they're getting. The problem is in the packaging. And, thumbnails, you are competing for viewers' attention, and the audience on YouTube and social media is really fickle. You first have to just catch their eye, and then you have to have the title. Get to titles in a second, but compare these two thumbnails on the right from Specialized, one of their recent videos, and Canyon. And listen, the Canyon one's not even perfect either. Blue on blue contrast isn't the best, but it's hitting sort of 4 or 5 boxes that you want to tick. But the Specialized one, you look at that thumbnail, it's a mess. Like I don't know what that is. And I think it's a downhill rider, but it's out of focus. I can't see what it is. No clarity. It's not really intriguing. The title, it doesn't really bear any relation to unless you know who that rider is and his name. And so the goal with the thumbnails has to be giving the video the best possible chance of attracting the most viewers within, your relevant company's brand constraints. So you can't obviously go too crazy with it. But what gets me is when you compare it to specialized Instagram, which, 1.4 million is much bigger, I guess, in followers than their YouTube channel. Even for that GOTS video, this Instagram post, and they've used a custom, I think, thumbnail for the Instagram post. This almost would have been a better YouTube thumbnail. And you look through some of these are ticking sort of the intriguing or dynamic or, slightly like what's going on here boxes, and they're clearer images, a lot of these on the Instagram. So when you then compare it to like a lot of these thumbnails where, they're either the color contrast isn't there or it's really, really busy, like this one on the left here, you can't really see what's going on, or things are zoomed out too far, so you can't really see the subject. I think some sort of preset's been applied to a lot of them, but yeah, a lot of them aren't catching your attention. But when you compare to their older ones, and you look at like that's obviously a classic, the stump jumper one, but the Sagan ones are a lot clearer. Or when they're doing the Sagan profile, you compare that I Am Specialized Peter Sagan one from 6 years ago, at least you can see it's sort of him, the World Champs bands. Like, for example, when they did the Unbound Kansas, like you can't see in this thumbnail on the right that it's him, really. You can see a Total Energy, but maybe a lot of the sort of casual fans don't even know he's gone to Total Energy yet. Whereas the Diverge one is better because there's the guy in the gold sleeves. It contrasts to the background behind him, well, as opposed to the other two riders who are a little bit in sort of more muted colors. And that Diverge video seemed to do quite well. The problem is there's slight tinkering to be done with the title. The brand sort of smoother is faster, or whatever tagline there is. People on YouTube don't really know what that is. You want to actually tell people upfront what it is. So it should be switched around. Topic first, introducing the Diverge STR, and then you can put, I don't think hashtags, I don't know if you use them, if they work on YouTube, but you can put them smoother is faster afterwards. And, but you look at the title above, Soil Searching Tanzania Keepers of the Land. I couldn't tell you, what is that video about? I think it was a mountain bike race in Africa. But you wouldn't really know that, especially when the thumbnail, I don't think, had a bike in it. So you want to really be hooking people in with the title. They're going to read that after they've seen, hopefully, a catchy thumbnail. It's got to be a clear topic because, yeah, you're competing for attention, and people aren't going to waste their time hoping that the content might be this, might be that, might be good, might be not. They want to know what they're watching, and they want to know that it's worthwhile to be watching. And listen, on the thumbnail titling front, Canyon's not perfect either. Like, a lot of these are a little bit too dark, or the subject isn't really contrasted out from the background, but they're doing a little bit better. The subjects are typically a little bit bigger in the thumbnail, a little bit clearer. The titles are a little bit more telling you what you might see. Some of them not really. And for example, Trek, they kind of keep it really basic. They just take their bikes in a crystal clear photo and say, here's the new bike, and show it like that. And they typically just use the pro riders to like showcase the new bikes as models, and without even sometimes telling that they're the pro riders. And this could have been an absolute banger thumbnail. The Trek Commuter Lights one, if they'd put an arrow and had some sort of a little bit more contrast around the light, an arrow, one arrow towards the light, that one would have banged. And if they changed the title a little bit, but they just keep it sort of more simple. Problem for them is they're just not posting enough. I don't know where those monthly views are coming from. I think they might be from a legacy video. They just barely post 5 videos, I think, in the last 90 days, which is not a very active channel at all. And I saw a good video from Bike 198 the other day about sort of maybe some stormy waters ahead for the bike industry in 2023. So if brands have slashed advertising spend and they need to then market products for themselves, and as he was saying, there's a surplus of inventory and stock which they need to shift, and so they need to market better to shift that stock. They're going to need to take things into their own hands, I guess, on YouTube and across all digital media platforms that they're advertising on their own channels. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens in 2023. Will Canyon stay ahead of the pack? Will Specialized change it up a little bit? Do they not need to? Am I overestimating grossly the importance of YouTube to their marketing and branding? I don't know, but I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.